Hello, friends. I welcome you all for this next lecture of the subject Infrastructure Engineering and Construction Techniques. In last lecture, we had finished part A of unit number 1, that is meaning and scope of infrastructure engineering. So, under that part A, we have a discussion on infrastructure engineering, scope of infrastructure engineering in national and global development, what are the various forthcoming infrastructure projects at national and global level, along with public private partnership, smart city, and bus rapid transit system. So, in this lecture, we will start with part B of unit number 1, that is railways. So, under this unit, we will have a focus on permanent way, functions of rails, and various types of standard rail sections that are used in Indian Railways. So, first we will start with the permanent way. So, the railway track is called as a permanent way, and if we have to define the permanent way, we can define it as the combination of rails which is fitted on sleepers and resting on ballast and subgrade is called as the railway track or permanent way. The typical cross section of permanent way is as shown in figure. So, it shows two rail sections. These two rail sections are resting on this sleeper, and these sleepers are resting on this ballast. So, the inner face to face distance between two rail section is called as a gauge, and this whole assembly is resting on a sub ballast which is called as a formation. So, here we can see the formation. The slope is provided for the drainage purpose. So, for this ballast cushion, a slope of 1.5:1 is provided, and for this formation, a slope of 2:1 is provided. Sometimes temporary tracks are also laid for conveyance of earth and materials during construction work. The name permanent way is given to distinguish the final layout of track from these temporary tracks. So, in a permanent way, the rails are joined in series by fish plates and bolts, and then they are fixed to sleepers by different types of fastenings. The sleepers, properly spaced, resting on ballast, are suitably packed and boxed with ballast. The layer of ballast rests on the prepared subgrade, which is called as the formation. So, this is about the permanent way. If we see the basic components of permanent way, so these components are rails, sleepers, and ballast. So, these are the three important components of permanent way. So, rails are acting as a girder, and it transmits the heavy moving wheel load to the sleepers. Sleepers may be made up of different materials as per the requirement. The next important component is the sleepers. The function of these sleepers is to hold the rails in proper position with respect to the proper tilt, with respect to gauge and level, and to transmit the load from rails to the ballast. So, whatever the heavy moving loads are there on rails, that are transferred to the sleepers, and sleepers transmit this load to the ballast. The next important component is the ballast. So, whenever there is a heavy moving load on sleeper will transmit that load to the ballast, and ballast will distribute the load over the formation, and because of which they hold the sleepers in proper position. So these are the three important components of the permanent way. Whenever Indian Railway have to lay a permanent way, there are some ideal requirements of permanent way. The first and primemost requirement is the gauge should be correct and uniform. So in cross section of permanent way, we have seen the inner to inner distance between two rail section is called as a gauge. So this inner to inner distance between two rail sections should be correct and uniform. This is the first criteria of ideal permanent way. The second criteria is the rails should be in proper level, as two rail sections are running parallel to each other, so the rails should be in proper level. The next requirement is the alignment should be correct. So here alignment is nothing but the center line of a railway. So the center line should be correct and it should be free from kinks and irregularities, so that it can take the load of heavy moving train properly. The next requirement is the gradient should be uniform and as gentle as possible, as the gradient is provided for drainage purpose. So whenever there is a rain, so the rainwater should be passed from this slope as gentle as possible. The next requirement is the track should be resilient and elastic in order to absorb shocks and vibrations of running track, as rails are subjected to heavy moving loads, and because of this they should absorb the shocks and vibrations of the heavy moving train. For that purpose it should be resilient and elastic in order to absorb the shocks and vibrations. The next requirement is the track should be have lateral strength, as two rails are running parallel to each other. Therefore, the lateral strength of rails should be good enough. The next important requirement is the radii and super elevation on curve should be properly designed and maintained. So these are the two important terms which are to be properly designed and maintained on curves. Next important criteria is the drainage system must be perfect for enhancing safety and durability of track. So whenever there is a rain, the rainwater should be drained off properly by providing a proper drainage system, so that there is an enhancement of safety and there should be, and the track can be maintained as a durable one. The next important is the various components of track, that is rails, fittings, sleepers, ballast and formation must be fully satisfy the requirement for which they have been provided. So whatever the functions of rails, fittings, sleepers and ballast are there, that function should be performed by all these components properly. The next important requirement is there should be adequate provision for easy renewals and replacement, as because of the accidents or slippage of the rail sections, for the renewal purpose or replacement purpose proper provisions should be provided on the railway track. And last important requirement is the track structure should be strong, it should be low in initial cost, and maintenance cost required for such type of structure should be low. So this is about the ideal requirement of the permanent way. Now next we will have a discussion on rails. So rails is the first component of permanent way, that is railway track. The rails on the track can be considered as steel girder for the purpose of carrying axial loads. So the first and primemost objective of this rail section is to take a load of heavy moving trains. So these rails are made up of high carbon steel to withstand wear and tear, and in Indian Railways, generally flat-footed rails are mostly used for the railway tracks. So the functions of rails are as: rails provide hard, smooth and unchanging surface for passage of heavy moving loads with a minimum friction between the steel rails and steel wheels, and because of which there is a smooth movement of rails. The next function performed by rails is: rails bear the stresses developed due to heavy vertical loads, lateral and braking forces and thermal stresses also. The rails transmit the loads to sleepers and consequently reduce pressure on ballast and formation below. As rails are resting on sleeper and sleepers are resting on ballast, so whatever the load that is taken by these rails should be transferred properly to the sleeper and ballast also. The rail material used is such that it gives minimum wear to avoid replacement charges and failure of rails due to wear and tear. So this is the main important function that is performed by the rail section. Next is, what are the requirements of these rails? So basically there are three components of rail section. First is head, the middle one is web, and the at bottom foot is there. So the head of the rail section should be deep enough to allow adequate margin for wear due to heavy moving loads. Whatever the load that is on head is transferred to the web. Therefore, web should be thick enough to bear the load, and the load from head is transferred to web, and web transfers that load to the foot. So foot should be wide enough to avoid the overturning due to heavy passage of moving loads. At the same time, the center of gravity, that is CG, should be at center of height so that tensile and compressive strength of the rails are same. So these are the various requirements of rails. Next is types of rail sections. So the three types of rail sections which have been tried so far for the construction of railway track are as: double-headed rails, which is known as DH rails; bull-headed rails, which is known as BH rails; and flat-footed rails, which is known as FF rails. So we will have a focus on all these three types one by one. So we will start with the first one, that is double-headed rails or DH rails. The double-headed rails are as shown in figure. In the beginning, the rails used were double-headed or a dumbbell section. The idea behind using of these rails was that when the head has worn out in course of time, the rail can be inverted and reused. But experience showed that such indentations are formed in lower table, due to which smooth running over that surface at the top was impossible. And this leads to evolution of bull-headed rails, which is called as BH rails. So the BH rails are as shown in figure. In these BH rails, the head was made little thicker and stronger, that is bull size, than the lower part, by adding more metal to it so that even after wear it can withstand stresses. Side by side, along with these bull-headed rails, flat-footed rails, which is also called as Vignol's rails, are also invented, which is as shown in figure. So it shows there is a head at the top, at the middle web is there, and foot is a flat-footed. So the flat-footed rails have more strength and stiffness as compared to other two types of rail sections. These rails can be used without bearing plates on sleepers, as these rails are strong to withstand vertical loads. And in Indian Railways, or on Indian railway tracks, flat-footed rails are mostly used. So, with this, we will stop here, continue in the next lecture. Thank you.